Okay, everyone. So I think we need to start. I hope you see the agenda. Means if we talk about today's class, today I'm going to describe you about one of important topic related to Microsoft Azure. This is the content related to the architect. So we'll try to understand about the concept of Azure Bastion. So Bastion is a one of important service, and with the help of Bastion, you are able to take the RDP. Not a RDP means a kind of RDP. You can just take the access of your virtual machine. So as we know that if we talk about the very basic of our Azure virtual machine, so guys, whenever you create a VM over a Azure portal, we are able to find three different options. We are able to get a three different options to take the RDP. One RDP, you know that, which is work over a 3389, means you can directly connect with the help of third-party tool, or you can directly use the MSTSC command to access your virtual machine. So with the help of public IP address, you are able to access your virtual machine that you created on Azure. Second, you know that about SSH. So SSH is a secure layer. You can say that secure connection. By using the SSH, you can connect the RDP of your virtual machine as well. And third option, we have option to manage our virtual machines RDP with the help of a Bastion. But if we talk about the Bastion service, so it's totally different to our RDP and SSH, because in this case, you no need to use any kind of you can say that public IP address, because the Bastion service can help you to connect your virtual machines RDP with the help of browser. If we talk about the prerequisite, means if you plan to configure the Bastion service over Azure portal, so what you need to do? First of all, you need to create a one VNet, and in single VNet must be create at least two different subnets. Subnet 1 for virtual machine, you can say that, for VM, and second subnet you can use subnet 2 for Bastion. Okay, so our first agenda, we just need to create a VNet. Under the VNet, you must need to create at least two different subnet. One subnet we will use for the virtual machine connection, and another subnet used by the Bastion service. So let's try to understand how we can do that. So I'm just going to open my Azure portal, and over Azure portal, firstly we need to create a one VNet, and after VNet we will create a two different subnet in same VNet. Guys, meanwhile, if you have any question or doubt, please let me know. So this is our Azure portal, and we are on the page of our portal.azure.com. Need to click on networking. As we know that, as per the agenda, as per the prerequisite, firstly we need to create a VNet, and under the VNet we will create a two different types of subnet. So select networking, go to the network part, virtual network. Although I have already created multiple VNet, but I'm just going to create from scratch again. Now, select any resource group. So I'm going to create this particular VNet in my Azure VMSS. Type the name of your VNet, training VNet. Okay. You must need to use a unique name, and I'm going to proceed to create our VNet in location of Central US. Next, provide the information about your CIDR value. You can also say that means you need to provide the information about the address space. So for this particular VNet, I'm going to create with the IP address of /25. So in /25, I think we are able to get up to 128 IP address, I think. Yep. Next, need to create a subnet. So as we discussed, I'm going to create a two different subnet. Subnet for VM, this is first subnet, and I'm going to use the IP address 192.168.1.0 slash proceed for this particular 26. Now, meanwhile, just need to click add. We successfully created a one subnet, and second subnet we will create while creating our virtual machine. It's not mandatory to create your entire subnet on the same type of VNet. So next, just click create. It will validate each and everything. If everything is okay, we are able to create the VNet service. So it's a prerequisite, you can say that if you want to configure the Azure Bastion service, so definitely first of all you need to create VNet, and once our VNet is ready to use, We will create our virtual machine, and under the virtual machine, we'll configure Bastion. Fine. We successfully created one VNet, and this is our training VNet that we created. If we talk about the subnet, so we created only one subnet. Second subnet we will create by creating our virtual machines VNet, Bastion. So our subnet VNet location is Central US, and if we talk about the container, so Azure VMSS is our container resource group. Swapnil, yes, you can do that if you have already created the VNet pairing and you want to take the access of your virtual machine. So definitely you can do that. Now, need to create our virtual machine, and we will create a one Windows operating system, and after that we'll configure our Bastion service. So very simple step that you need to use to create our virtual machine. I'm going to use the same container, means resource group, server 2012 operating system, central US location. Provide the username and password, because these username password can help you to access the RDP of your VM. Fine. So it will take up to 3 to 4 minutes. So meanwhile, just go through the requirement. I'm going to open the page of our today's agenda, and you just go through the agenda and let me know if you have any question or doubt. Fine. It's in progress, and this is our agenda. Means in this session, I'm planning to give you the information about what is Azure Bastion, prerequisite to configure Bastion, why we need to configure Bastion service, and also need to know about the procedure. So procedure, as we discussed, need to create your VNet, and after creating VNet, you need to create a one virtual machine, and then uh, in the property of virtual machine, you will be find option related to the Bastion. So I think we need to wait up to 3 to 4 minutes, and once our virtual machine ready, we will access our virtual machine with the help of Bastion service. Thank you, Sapnil. Still in progress, so we need to wait. Okay, fine. So our virtual machine is ready to use. Let's try to understand about the use of Bastion service. So we just normally open our virtual machine's property and need to click on connect button. You can find the connect button in setting in the property of our virtual machine, and you can also find on dashboard. So both options can help you to make a connection to take the RDP of your virtual machine. So as discussed, we have a three different way to connect our virtual machine. One is RDP, second is SSH, and third one is related to the Bastion. So as per the agenda, we try to understand about the work of Bastion. Fine. We created a one subnet. This is our subnet 192.168.1 slash 1.0 slash 25. So remaining subnets means by using the remaining subnet and numbers which is available, which is IP which is available, you can use it to configure this another subnet for Bastion service. NSG, if you want to configure the network security group, that's good. If you don't want to proceed with network security group, not an issue. So very simple option. You just need to click select your subnet, select NSG, and click create subnet. First of all, Bastion can create the another subnet. If you have already created a subnet for your Bastion, so no need to do anything. Now everything is okay. Click on Azure Bastion using default. No, and click here and wait up to 1 or 2 minutes more. It's in progress, so we need to wait. It may be taking the 5 minute time because it create a subnet in the back end and then attach with our virtual machine. So that's why it take time. Meanwhile, if anyone have question, please let me know, guys. Actually, Swapnil, we need to activate the Bastion service to protect our virtual machine. Because once you activate the virtual Bastion service with virtual machine, so no need to add any kind of NSG. Even you can also remove your public IP address because you know that if you want to take the RDP of your VM, you must need to use public IP address and connect with your on premises. Bastion service can give you only and only option to connect your VM's RDP with the help of web browser, not with the help of any tool. So that's why we are unable to take the RDP once you configure the uh, 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 Bastion, because once Bastion is okay, Bastion is working properly, then we will remove our public IP address, because we want to secure our virtual machine. If you want to take the RDP, if you want to access your virtual machine with the help of 3389, so then no need to configure Bastion. Need to refresh the page, and the total time it will take up to 7 to 8 minutes, I think.